I've had my fair share of leaders over the years, some good, some bad, one or two absolutely appalling, and there's definitely nothing in common between them. They were all different. They were male, female, young, old, experienced, wet behind the ears, so all sorts of characteristics. So it's very difficult to pull out a trait, but I think that it's helpful at the moment, or it might be helpful at the moment, to consider a rethink. You won't get this on an MBA. This is not the sort of thing you study, but there's a couple of characteristics of leaders that I don't want to generalise, but there are characteristics that I think a lot of us have seen. One of those is the sort of Charge of the Light Brigade type leader who tends to have a lot of energy. She's driven, can be seen as being quite aggressive or assertive, often depending on what sex they are. Diversity is another subject we'll need to come back to, but and you know what, these types of leaders can have success, and in fact in some environments you need that sort of leader. But I don't think I'm talking about that type of environment. I'm talking about the new normal, the response to people's issues and difficulties going back to work. Now, I've spoken in other places about, the fact I think we need to go back to work. I don't think isolating us all like some scientific apocalypse is particularly going to help. But when we get back, how are leaders going to deal with this? Well, there will be some who don't care. They'll just get back into it and they'll be on with their normal approach. They'll complain likely that they've lost their chance of getting a bonus. You can tell where their motivations are. But I hope that the majority of leaders will go back thinking, okay, I think we need to rethink this. So let me give you a way of rethinking it. Rather than being the sort of tough, heroic leader, the sort of Superman, the Superwoman type leader, why don't you think about how you would approach leadership, how you would work with your team if you approached it like being a gardener. This is a vast subject, and I don't think it's something that you can ever get right. I think the best we can do is frame it. So let me try and do that. So a gardener is someone who gets their hands dirty. They don't outsource the jobs, or at least not all the jobs. They'll get on with it and do it themselves. Is that a good trait for a leader? Well, I quite like the old TV show Back to the Floor, where chief executives or senior people would go into their workplaces and actually do the jobs, usually customer facing, at the sort of towards the bottom of the organisation. It always ended up in significant changes happening in organisations. So yeah, I think that's a good thing. What else do gardeners do? Well, they plant seeds, they nurture things. Now that's lovely. And again, I'm reminded of Ken Robinson's quote, human resources are like natural resources, sometimes you have to dig deep to find them. And a gardener is the sort of leader who would dig deep by developing, testing, experimenting with individuals to try and unearth what their particular talents were. So I like that, I like that. What else do gardeners do? Well, they weed. They take away things that are not helping the rest of the garden. Now what could that mean as a leader? Maybe not as positive, but it could be about taking away unhelpful traits. It could be about moving people out of the business who are perhaps not helping us get to where we want to be. That's probably one that could be open to some debate. But then they do things like, I love this one, the greenhouse. So what happens in the greenhouse? You're sort of forcing almost, you're giving an environment that really gives people an opportunity to flourish, but flourish quite quickly. So that would be about, I guess, hot housing, continuing the metaphor, but really helping people by giving them a bit of space to grow. Once things are weeded, once things are neat and tidy, what does a gardener do? He or she responds to the seasons, so they'll have different jobs at different times of the year. At one part of the year they'll be fertilising the soil, they'll be adding nutrients to the soil. At another time of the year they'll be clearing up, they'll be making sure things are ready for the next year, they'll be preparing. So I think, just think about it, see if you can come up with something that doesn't work with a gardener. I think weed killing might be one, but anyway, have a think about it. So imagine you go into the workplace in the next couple of months when things get back to the new normal, and you have a think about what you would do if you thought like a gardener. Would that framework work for you?